Welcome to day 16 of 1,350 days. Today there is one sale to report, so I'm up to 1,085 copies on my journey to sell 1 million copies in 1,350 days. I actually know who bought this copy. It's a woman called Lexi. She saw my post on Instagram about the challenge. She's also doing I think a 30-day challenge at the moment. 30-day challenge on healthy eating. And I'll leave a link to her Instagram page, so you can check that out if you want to. It's another person who's inspired by this idea of undertaking a challenge and the way it holds you accountable, the way it forces you to take certain steps and actions, just as I'm doing with this book challenge. So thank you very much, Lexi, for buying that copy. In today's subject, the subject for today is my backstory, basically. I thought early on in this challenge I'd let you guys know what came before 1,350 days, because there's a whole journey in itself up until this point, which is actually involved a much longer space of time than the 3.5 years I've given myself to complete my journey. So my story really regarding book selling and the whole idea of becoming a best-selling personal development author begins back in 2002, right at the end of my time at Manchester University, where I first had the idea of becoming or getting involved in the personal development world. Didn't actually have the idea for writing a book. I suddenly had this vision, actually, of speaking in front of an audience, sharing a message. I didn't know exactly what it was, but sharing a message with an audience, feeling really uplifted, feeling the energy of the crowd, feeling like the words I was saying were having some impact on other people. And I just thought to myself, wow, that would be such an amazing place to be, such an amazing life to live. How do I get there? And the idea popped into my head: write a book. This was really before a time when the internet had taken off in a substantial way. We're talking 2002, there was no blogging, there was no YouTube. These avenues weren't open yet, so the only avenue really, in my mind, I thought, was to write a book. I actually put pen to paper in 2003, quite literally. I didn't type the first ever rough manuscript of my book. I actually wrote it out on paper while I was traveling in South Africa and working. I was volunteering at a local school. I wrote a load of, it wasn't even notes, I tried to write a book, but in hindsight, when I look back on it, probably a month later after having written it, I thought, man, this is garbage. I can't possibly show it to anyone. Scrapped it. I even threw it away. I wish I kept it now, but I didn't. I threw it away and just canned the idea. Became a tennis coach, became a hypnotherapist, and it wasn't really until 2007 when I returned to this dream of becoming a best-selling author. And then I started in earnest, probably writing for 1 hour every day, trying to formulate my ideas. The first title I was working under was How to Live Your Dreams. And after 3 or 4 months, I had a few chapters written. And that's when I contacted Tom Butler Bowden, who became my mentor on the project. Went to see him. He lives in Oxford in the UK. Showed him my manuscript for How to Live Your Dreams. And he sort of said, well, the title's very generic, How to Live Your Dreams. It's good work, but you need a different direction. And he pointed to one chapter, which the chapter was called, was about screwing the system. He said, now that's what you need to make your book about, which was good. It helped me. It also was a bit frustrating because then I had to go back and rewrite the whole thing. Anyway, over the next, it actually turned out to be 4.5 years, I spent writing and rewriting. I rewrote the book, I think, 3 times. And I'd go up to Oxford to see Tom, show him some chapters, get feedback, try to improve my writing, try to make sure the book was as good as it could possibly be. Finally, in 2012, I released it as Screw the System. And you can see the cover here, the Matrix theme. Any of you who've read the book will know that it draws on inspiration from the Matrix. Now, the reason I spent so many years writing it, because I thought I was going to be one and done with this book. I thought that this was the thing. This was going to be a bestseller. It was going to take off, hit 1 million sales. That was it. I'd be able to retire have my royalty checks for the rest of my life, and it was all going to be a happy ending for Joe. It really didn't pan out like that. But that's why I took such a long period of time writing it. I wanted to make it good enough to be a bestseller. And I think now it is. I don't know if it was in 2012 when I first released it. It was good. Don't know if it was quite good enough. I ended up dating the book. It then became Escape the System Now in 2014. And you can see this really cool cover, which I got from Fiverr. Now the reason for this is I signed up for a book selling course, and it was giving me all kinds of confusing advice about changing the covers, changing the title, Escape the System Now. I don't know why I included that. It's on my website because I can't get the URL Escape the System, so Escape the System Now is on the website for that reason, which I'm fine with, but I didn't need to include it in the title. The cover's really crappy. Content was still the same, content was still good, and maybe you guys can let me know which cover do you think is better. Leave a comment below. Which title do you think is better as well? So then in 2015/2016, I updated the book. There were things I wanted to improve on. I wanted to add about 10 to 20% new content, get a new cover, which I'm fairly happy with, and then it became Escape the System. And Escape the System is what you are buying now. If you do go and buy the book, that is what you're getting. Put a lot of effort in 2015 actually to updating it. Did a lot of editing, added a few new sections. In fact, I even did some editing last year in the autumn of 2018. Didn't change any of the content, just edited a few minor edits, make it a bit more readable and a bit more easy, improve the flow of the book basically. So as you can see, I'm constantly trying to improve this book because I believe in it so much. Now it's not going to be the only book, because last year I also released How to Create an Income Without Working a Boring Job. Well, I didn't really release it actually. I just sold it to my subscribers to my newsletter, and then it got picked up by a publishing company, Watkins Media. I wrote to them with Escape the System initially, which they liked, but they weren't going to publish. When I showed them the manuscript for Income, they liked it a lot, and they've given me a publishing deal. The book is going to be changed to Do the Work You Love, and it's going to be published in February of next year. So that's the backstory, guys. I hope you found that interesting. We've dealt with the past, now we're moving on to the future. Day 17, 18, 19 on Thursday will see me at Success Club, where hopefully I will sell a few copies if people in the audience are interested in buying one. I might actually do some filming there. So I will see you on Thursday. Thanks for watching.